17 imagines when you remove their hand from your in a family dinner. Bangchan. Bangchan always looked effortlessly powerful tonight in his crisp black suit, hair silked back and wristwatch. Dinner was going well, too well, until Mayan crossed her leg beside him in the dress, enough skin to awaken something. Mayan breathed in, her fork pausing mid-air. Jan, she is from the corner of her mouth, smiling at his mother. Across the table, stop. He didn't. His hand. Jan leaned in. You just made a big mistake, Angel. To drive home. The moment they stepped into the house, he locked the door behind him, jacket off, tie loose. Mine barely turned to him when his voice dropped. Get on the couch. What, you think pulling my hand off you at dinner was cute? That's why I stopped you. His voice was everywhere, every time, especially at the table. And Han was all smiles at dinner, cracking jokes, charming the elders, and stealing glances at Mayan like she was. That's why when his hand slipped onto the table and confident she was, we are not doing this here. He just smirked, and his brother laughed at a joke. I'm not doing anything, he murmured smoothly, his hand placing it back on his own lap under the table. The smile fell off Han's face, not visibly. The second they got home, he slammed the door shut and locked it. You heard me, his eyes, and he started towards her. I didn't want to get catch. I don't care, he drawled when I. Changbin. Changbin was quiet through most of the dinner. He always played the part well, the composed son-in-law, the thoughtful husband. Innocent's eyes focused on the conversation about vacation plans and just appreciating what's going. He didn't listen. She placed her hand under the table and removed his. Her Shandon smiled, but not the soft one, the one that made trouble. Noted, he said quietly back at home. We were at my mom's house. He paused off the wall, walking slowly towards her. She opened her mouth to respond, but he was already in front. I didn't mean to tease, she whispered. He smiled too late. Sungmin. Everyone always said Sungmin was the quiet one, polite, reserved, and gentle. While knew better, she was seated beside him. He glanced at him. His face was unreadable, eyes focused on the conversation around him, but his finger was. He shifted in her seat, trying to make it less obvious, trying to move his hand away, but his finger tightened. Sungmin, she whispered. And with that, he built his hand. While eyes widened. That was her second mistake. The car ride home was silent to silent, and when they entered the house, Sungman didn't even speak. He locked the door behind them. But I asked you to stop. You asked me to stop in front of my family, he interrupted, stepping closer. His face was calm, too calm. Jong-un. Jong-un, the baby face. The dining room was full of chatter and clicking culture. Jongin's family seated around the table, laughter. Wine tried to focus, smiling and nodding, sipping her water slowly to cool the rising warmth on her skin because under the table, Jongjin sitting beside her in his innocent bed, and she whispered, her voice low and stern. Yes, baby, he answered aloud, turning his head toward her with his boyish grin. Once she immediately grabbed his wrist and removed his hand, placing it firmly in his own lap. Jongjin blinked like she did. You are rejecting me in front of the family. The rest of the dinner was unusually quiet from his end, at least. Jongjin Potter stayed his eyes and sold in silence. Everyone else. Oh, now you want to? She asked. She turned to face him. You deserved it. I deserve more. Lena. Family dinners at Minho's place always felt like a formal event. Everyone was firm and proper, conversation civilized, and the table setting on so pristine you did feel guilt at first. He was talking his cousin according as if nothing was happening. No, she muttered under her breath. You didn't mind this last time, he whispered. Not during dinner with your mom. He She reached under the table and slid his hand off, shooting him a sharp look. Minho didn't blink. The moment the door of their house closed behind them, he turned to Lo. Lu knew that look, the calm, calculating gleam in his eyes. Thank you, she replied. Thank you, she replied cautiously, setting her clutch down. That's why I couldn't help myself. She turned. She took a breath, but he was already in front of her, into the wall with a gentle but you embarrassed. You should have let my hand, because now I won't use just my hand. Felix. Dinner at the Lee household was always lively. While Felix's mom had cooked enough for an army and laughter and through the but beneath the table nothing was normal. Felix's hand has been since the start of the dinner it started off innocent, just a warmth. No one had noticed yet. With a honey Australian accent, you look too good tonight. Stop, we are at dinner. That doesn't change the fact she gave him a one last glare. Without making a scene, she pushed his hand. He remained cheerful the rest of the dinner, laughing with his cousins and complimenting the food, but every so often he did glance at her from the corner of his eye, silent fire. The moment the door closed, he took it off like it was doing something wrong. It was. He tilted his head. Felix, he interrupted. You have been since you walked out of the bathroom in that dress. I didn't think you'd be enough to do it during dinner, she breathed. Then maybe I should show you, but without breaking I was being so nice, he murmured. Are you going to behave now? She challenged. He met her eyes with a not even a little. Longjin. Table was full, siblings, cousins, parents, uncles, aunts, laughter bounced off the wall of Yunjin's family dinner room and until Yunjin's hand slid under the table, his pinky turned to her slowly, the candlelight reflecting in his eyes. Yes, Angel. His voice was so low she barely heard it up now. Shouldn't have this dress, he murmured. Later that night, back home, Anne was brushing her hair when Hyunjin stepped into the bedroom and locked the door. Silence. He didn't speak. He just walked towards her, undoing the bed. Tried to behave. He said, his voice low and measured. I tried to be a good for you, but you removed my hand. His lips curled, and now you shouldn't have removed. He whispered, now you are going to feel everything and more. And he kept his word, turning her into a. Thanks for watching. Hope you like it. Subscribe for more.